Hello. So today I'm going to be spending about 50 minutes working on Codecademy, learning back-end development with Express.js. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the whole concept of this channel is I'm on a journey to start a business and to become a successful entrepreneur. And I'm documenting that journey and documenting my daily grind. So if you want to study alongside me or just watch, I don't know, but this is essentially just a documentary of my success story because I'm confident in myself and that I'm going to make it, and I'm going to work incredibly hard to make sure that I'm successful in entrepreneurship and in business. So if you've watched my intro video or the first video on my channel, you can see that I have a business that I'm working on, and I've coded my own website and coded my own software, and I continue to learn new software skills each day, and today I'm working in back-end development. So how I usually do this is I'm going to work for 50 minutes from 9:40 to 10:30, and every 10 minutes I'm going to do 50 push-ups. So let's get started. Come on. All right. Take these off. These are goofy. Oh my gosh, it's tough.
With SEMrush, UHS marketing team manages all website data, stores insights, and
I don't know. This request params. Oh, that's going to return the ID. So this is going to return the ID. This ID right here, it's going to return the element object if it exists and undefined if it does not. So if ID, if it exists, then I want it to send. What do I want it to send? What does it want me to send? I guess, does it just want me to send the parameter? I don't know. What does it want me to send? Send back a single expression. I wish they had this list full of expressions so I could at least see it and understand what it's sending back. I'm gonna get a hint. Okay, here it is. The correct ID of the expression can be found using request. Okay, so I have to add an ID here. So request params.id, and maybe it just wants me to send back the entire object. So I would just send back request.params. Let's see if this works. I don't know. I don't think this is gonna work, but we'll see. And this is the thing about learning is it's just, you know, you fail and you learn and you get faster at it. So this is very basic. This is very basic stuff. And if an experienced programmer watched me, they'd probably be thinking, you know, wow, like he is not good at programming. But the thing is, with software tools that exist now like ChatGPT, you really just need to understand the concepts and understand how to read the code. And from there, you can use tools that now exist to be able to help you write that code and help you correct those errors. And you'll be able to create solid code. But you know, this is just how you learn it. You have to get familiar with these functions, and you have to understand how it works so that they can use other tools to be able to make it work. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So I hope you can bear with me, because I've been spending about 7 minutes on just this one problem. That's the joy of it. We up. I just don't understand what it wants me to send back. Does it want me to send the ID back? Alright, I'm gonna get a hint on this one so I can understand. See what they did. Oh, so yeah, it just wants me to send the ID back. Okay. So if ID is true, if it's truthy, then it just send the ID back. Let's see if this works. Yay! There we go. All right, and that's the little dopamine rush. There's something about the struggle in learning that learning wouldn't be worth it if there wasn't struggle. And if it didn't take me 5 minutes to work through that problem and try and really understand it, then I wouldn't be going anywhere. And I don't know. There's good things in difficulty. All right, Express allows us to set the status code on responses before they are sent. Response codes provide information to clients about how their requests were handled. Until now, we have been allowing the Express server to set status codes for us. For example, any res.send has by default sent a 200 OK status code. The res object has a .status method to allow us to set the status code, and other methods like .send can be chained from it. Okay, makes sense. So here's their get. So it's basically the same thing that we did last time, but now if it doesn't exist, then we're sending back an error, a 404 error with monster not found. So in this example, we've implemented a route to retrieve inventory levels from a monster store. Levels are kept in the monster store inventory variable. When a request arrives for monster's inventory Mothman, the route matches, and so the callback is invoked. Request.params.name will be equal to Mothman, and so our program accesses monster store inventory Mothman. Since there are no Mothman in our inventory, res.status sets a 404 status code on the response, and .send sends the response. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So what does it want me to do here? Let's make sure that our get expression ID route handles invalid requests properly. For instance, if we request an expression ID that does not exist. Okay, so it wants me to now add to this right here, this route. So I'm going to add, okay, so it's pretty much the same thing as last time. So if found expression, then I'm going to res.send the found expression. But if it does not exist, else I'm going to set the status code, res.status, with a 404 error, and then I'm going to send it. I'm going to send an expression. Does not exist. Let's see if this works. Yay! You got it. Parameters are extremely helpful in making server routes dynamic and able to respond to different inputs. Route parameters will match anything in their specific part of the path. So route matching monster's name will match all the following request paths. Okay, that makes sense. In order for a request to match a route path, it must match the entire path. As shown in the diagram to the right, the request arrives expressions 1. It's right here. It first tries to match the expressions route, but because it has an additional path segments, because it has additional path segments after expressions, it does not match this route and moves on to the next. It matches expressions ID because ID will match any value at that level of the path segment. So the route matches, so the express server calls the callback function, which in turn handles the request and sends a response. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, other HTTP methods. HTTP protocol defines a number of different method verbs with many use cases. So far, we have been using the GET request, which is probably the most common of all. Every time your browser loads an image, it is making a GET request for that file. This course will cover 3 other HTTP methods: put, post, and delete. Express provides methods for each one. Put requests are used for updating existing resources. In our Express Yourself machine, a put request will be used to update the name or emoji of an expression already saved in our database. For this reason, we will need to include a unique identifier as a root parameter to determine which specific resource to update. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this one, and then I need 50 push-ups. Okay. So app.put, and what is it? Expressions ID. Oh, request goes first. Okay. So you just want me to do that. Okay, cool. Alright, 50 push-ups. So you can see me over here. we're back. Get that endorphin release.
Web design, e-commerce, online advertising, SEO, and more. Web.com. One stop, all done.
Okay. All right, so the request.Corey. Okay. Hey. All right, that makes sense. All right. The proper element in the expressions array. All right. Bye. Yeah. Bye. All right, first I'm gonna check with I wish these elements, these helper functions, I wish they were actually in the code. Here they are. That's what I was looking for. All right, so the get element by ID, it takes the ID in the element list, and then it returns the element. Okay. It returns the element ID. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do request.params.id and the expressions list. So if check, then we want to update element. Okay. So I think this returns the ID, so I can actually just put check in here, because that will be the ID. So check, and then request.query. Okay, and then expressions. Okay. And if it doesn't exist, then it doesn't even want me to do this. Okay. Let's set this up. Okay, we're gonna. This might work. We'll see. If it doesn't, syntax error. Where? Alright, so I had this right. Oh. I had this right. Oh, get indexed by ID. Okay. Alright. Sometimes I'll refer to that. I'll refer to a solution and then try it myself with with errors. So this right here, this is index. So that was my syntax error because that didn't exist. So if the check does not equal -1, then I want to update it with the request.params.id, and I want to send it back. So res.send. What am I sending? Oh, it's the expressions. Check, I think. And if this is not it, yeah. Okay, let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right, that's easy. Oh, I need more push-ups. I'm gonna do 2 sets of 25.
haven't tried Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray? What are you waiting for? It's Dawn's fastest and easiest way to clean everyday dishes. You just spray, wipe, and rinse. It cleans 5 times faster to actually break down grease on carpet.
I don't like how this one doesn't have an example.
Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray.
So create a post expressions route. Okay. Tap that post expressions. I need to see an example of this one. I just need to see the example. Oh, so I'm pushing this. Okay. There's a 400 error code. Let's see if this works. Oh, I see what I'm doing. This is the Corey, not params. Alright, this should work. There we go. I'm gonna use get index by ID. I think that's what I should be doing. That's it, right? What does it need? ID. I don't know how this splice function's kind of confusing. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So delete count, an integer indicating the number of elements in the array to remove from start. Okay, so I'm starting at expressions dot splice at the index ID and stopping at 1, and then response send 204. That's send. If it does not exist, then should work. Yay! Let's go. There's supposed to be a machine here, but it's just, I don't know what's up. It's not working. This is why I love Codecademy, because it makes you practice everything you just learned. Next. Alright, this should be right. No? Oh, okay. There we go. that was right. I think it is animals ID. It's get element by ID. It's animals ID.
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons.
Ow, ow, ow.
And on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, I see it. Put a comma here. There we go. Yes, sir. I can use this update element function. Too easy. Too easy. Spelling received wrong.
I used to wait to run my dishwasher till it was super full. Now, I run it daily, weekdays. Weekends, you might think that's wasteful, but it's not. Even half loads use 80% less water than hand washing.
My gosh, these ads.
$130 on utilities. Cascade, they have to dish differently.
Should work. Bang. All right. All right, I'm just gonna review this. So this is all just Express.js. I mean, it makes sense. The only thing about this is that the created functions by Codecademy, those are a little bit confusing because they're already created. Like, I didn't create those. So I had to look kind of in the docs to see how they work. But not bad. Not bad. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do some more push-ups. But good grind session. I'm going to move on with this tomorrow. But I'm actually gonna like when I look at this course, the purpose of this course is to give me an understanding of how the back-end development works, so that I can actually build a database framework for myself and my website, so that I can actually create a database that interacts with my website, that can pull things from my database. From the website. So these GET requests, these PUT requests, these POST requests, and the delete requests, they're interacting with this database, and that's exactly what I need. So learning this, it's going to make me familiar with it so that I can use tools that are now created. And I feel like if a experienced programmer watched these videos, they would think, oh my gosh, like, you know, this is probably very basic to a lot of people. But not to me. You know, I've been in finance. I've been studying finance at college. But I believe that I can teach myself these things and use the technology that now exists to be able to understand them, and then use the technology to help me write the code. So, I don't know. I'm going to do some push-ups real quick, and then I'm going to call it quits. 50 of them. All right. All right. Until next time.